We are back with some more pro wrestling news, and this one we have a pretty stacked episode for you. And we're going to kick this off with some short TNA news. We have a short story about Danny Luna. That's one of my favorite people in TNA. If you've watched the channel for a while, you know I talked about her for a while. He likes her, I like her. She is one of the best people on that roster. And as of a few days ago, she requested her release and it was accepted. So she is no longer a part of the TNA roster. She could go to WWE, go to AEW, she could go to Stardom. There's a lot of different options for her. I'm expecting her to go to one of the big two, of course. But yeah, that's some definitely big breaking news and a big free agent on the market now.
Yeah, definitely a very unfortunate situation. She felt like somebody who could have easily been the world champion, and I think people would have been behind her. She felt like somebody who could have been one of the next big names from that company's history, but unfortunately, I guess things didn't work out for whatever side was kind of the reason behind that. Who knows? But yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation, but I think Danny Luna will walk out of this in a much better position, whether she does sign to one of the big companies or she continues to dominate the indies like she has been doing. Yeah, it should be a very fun time for Danny Luna to kind of, I guess, prove herself once again to why she should be a future world champion in any company's history.
Yeah, she has a former rival in Lena Cross in AEW, and she also has a best friend in Lyra Valkyria in WWE. So either option, I'm sure she would be fine with. It's just a matter of which one really works with her schedule and the travel time, because she is from another country. So I guess we'll see where she goes. And up next, we have some WrestleMania 42 news, and that is going to be John Cena officially announces that he will be hosting WrestleMania this year. So that is a big announcement. He just retired in December, and he's already back come WrestleMania. Maybe that's a bad thing to a lot of people who were there at that final show, and maybe they feel a little bit like, man, maybe I shouldn't have paid for that ticket now. But at the same time, you got to see his final match, not necessarily his final appearance. So yeah, that's a big thing that John Cena is obviously going to be hosting WrestleMania this year.
Yeah, it was a very well-known thing that John Cena would be coming back to WWE. It was never a question that he was going to be completely done. He would be gone from the company. We'll never see him on screen again. It is a little bit surprising that it is kind of a little bit sooner, but I guess that kind of just shows that maybe WWE isn't happy with the ticket sales for WrestleMania, and having John Cena there will definitely increase that a lot, I'm sure. And yeah, I'm sure he'll have some type of in-ring kind of segment where he might get a little physical, but I'm sure he won't. I'm sure we'll just see him probably on the ramp backstage, and yeah, I'll probably announce the attendance as well.
And up next, we have a few WrestleMania matches announced that we're going to get into. And that is going to be Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. Obviously, a big built match that was built over a course of a lot of time. And then we have Penta versus Javon Evans versus JD McDonough versus Dragon Lee versus Rusev in the IC title ladder match. So that was a big banger, big announcement there. And that's a match that I'm very excited for on the night of WrestleMania. And that is not over yet because we have a fatal four-way women's tag team match. And that is Nia and Lash versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus the Bellas versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. So a fatal four-way women's tag team match for the tag team titles on WrestleMania should be a very good match. And for the final announcement, and a shocking one, Seth Rollins versus Gunther is official for WrestleMania.
Yeah, these are a lot of big matches. These are a lot of people that we did want to see on the show, especially for that ladder match. We knew we wanted Penta on the card somewhere. We didn't know where they would go. A multi-man match did make sense. Javon Evans being one to land in that match, I think is perfect. He's somebody who I really wanted to have a big year, and I think having a WrestleMania match definitely kind of starts that off. And I'm glad that also all three guys who main evented last year, Stand and Deliver, have all made it on to Mania. Oba, Trick, Javon, all there now. So that's a really cool thing to see. And then yeah, Dragon Lee getting a spot in that match, I think, could also cause for Dragon Lee to be in this match as well, can have a lot of cool moments. But then also the Seth and Gunther match. That match, I think, is probably going to be one of the best in-ring quality matches if Seth is actually at 100%. Who knows what condition we'll kind of see him in. But yeah, definitely a surprising match. Did not expect this because, Gunther didn't really have anything to do with Seth Rollins and what he was doing, and Seth Rollins didn't have anything to do with what Gunther was doing. So to have these two go against each other is definitely a bit surprising and a little bit out of nowhere. But with where they're at right now, I think this is probably the best match you can run with these two guys.
Yeah, this will definitely be an amazing match on the night between these two. But our next segment is going to be another amazing match at WrestleMania, and that is Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. We seen Liv Morgan come to the ring and essentially just call Stephanie Vaquer a bitch. Stephanie Vaquer comes to the ring, starts attacking her. She gets the upper hand on her, puts her down. She goes to get a steel chair to go hit her with that. However, Roxanne Perez makes her return and attacks Stephanie Vaquer from behind. And then Liv Morgan ends up using that same steel chair to do an oblivion on. And yeah, they stand tall on Monday Night Raw.
It is very nice to see Roxanne Perez back on TV. She's somebody who I was very sad to hear that she got injured, and it kind of meant that she wasn't going to be on Mania at this point. She's not in that the women's fatal 4-way tag match, which I kind of thought her and Raquel could slide into that match. I think they're two people who obviously have history with the championships, but also people that kind of should be on WrestleMania. They probably won't find a way unless we can see them go against the Kabuki Warriors, but I don't really know which way we'll go right now. But yeah, I'm glad to see Roxanne Perez back. I'm glad we're still building this Liv Morgan Stephanie feud, because I do think it still needs a little bit more to kind of get me fully behind it. But yeah, I think that match still would deliver on the night.
And to end Monday Night Raw, we got yet another CM Punk and Roman Reigns segment, where last week we seen Roman Reigns shield bomb Punk through the table, and this week we would see Punk shield bomb Roman through a table. So a very good kind of segment between these two. I enjoyed this fight the most because it was short and sweet. It didn't have all the kind of extra moments and the extra time added to it, and it didn't feel like it was kind of just a boring moment. It felt like a special moment coming from between these two on this Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, this was definitely a segment that was definitely needed between these two. Past few weeks haven't been the greatest. Obviously, we have a few moments of their interaction that are pretty good, but the rest of it have been a little bit flat. This segment here, though, was a lot better. I'm glad that kind of CM Punk finally got the upper hand. He has been kind of getting dogged the past few weeks when they have interacted. So yeah, finally gets his lick back. I think the funniest thing to come out of all of this is what wasn't on TV at all, but the fan footage of CM Punk when he was standing on top near the crowd and kind of talking to one of the fans who was kind of heckling him a little bit. He fired back. But yeah, this is definitely what we needed for this feud. Glad that CM Punk is kind of looking a little bit stronger. I still don't know who wins this match. I am still leaning toward the Roman Reigns just because I don't think they'll have him win the Royal Rumble just to lose. But who knows how that match will go. And yeah, this will probably be your Night 2 main event.
And ending this video with some AEW news, we have Chris Jericho returns to AEW, and he just kind of comes to the ring. They play Judas. He basically just says, "I'm home, Winnipeg," and then plays Judas again and leaves. So short, sweet, pretty much what you would want from Jericho, but it is pretty surprising considering all the WWE rumors that were going around, and there were really no rumors of him coming back to AEW outside of some like trademark things that he trademarked a few weeks ago. But yeah, definitely a very interesting thing because I definitely expected him to be in WWE at some point this year.
Yeah, Jericho being back in AEW does feel a little bit weird just because I was in the same boat. I thought he was on the way to WWE eventually once this contract ran out, but who knows how that's going to play. I don't know where he'll fit in. The segment kind of took place around the Kenny and MJF contract signing, so there's maybe a teaser that he'll get into that world title picture again soon. I hope not. I think there's a lot of better opponents we can find for Kenny or MJF after their Dynasty match. So yeah, very interesting Jericho back. Don't know what he does, and yeah, hopefully we don't see too much of him like we did before.
Yeah, I don't know where he fits in the AEW roster at the moment. I feel like things are kind of smoothing out for AEW, and it's on like an upward trend right now. And I don't know where Jericho kind of fits along with all the people and the factions and the new titles. And there's been a lot of changes since Jericho has been there. So I am interested to see what he does. Will he just get a new faction together? Will it just be Chris Jericho? Will the learning tree be around? I'm not sure, but I guess we'll all see in due time. But that's gonna wrap up this video. We appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.